So we're gonna go ahead and install this. So I got a request from Ryan in Tampa on how to go about mounting the RAM mount to the mirror. So we're gonna go ahead and install this. I return it to factory. What you wanna do is pick a side. I go with the right just because I have no problem with blocking the tachometer, but I don't wanna block the speedometer, especially since the display doesn't have the option of telling you the speed. So that's why I go on the right, but if you go on the left, it's a little easier to mess with the phone with your non-throttle hand. But anyways, that's my reasoning there. First thing you're gonna do is remove this rubber piece and slide it up all the way, get it out of the way. There's 2 bolts. So the basic principle here is whatever side you're working on, move the steering wheel. That way you have a bunch of range for the mirror to spin freely without hitting the windshield. Basic principles here, this bottom bolt acts as you think it should, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, but the top one's the exact opposite. So you're gonna start by loosening the top bolt. Make sure that you're not touching the bottom one with your wrench. And we're gonna do the opposite of conventional thinking, which would be towards you to loosen it, okay? Now you wanna get this one up all the way, okay, with your fingers, but then back it out just a little bit so that there's some free play there. And then you're just gonna take the whole mirror off. Lefty loosey to do that. So we're gonna take our mount. It won't go in just by jamming it, but it will. I mean, it's close, so we're gonna thread it in. It's not tight, so I don't think it'll ruin the threads, but keep it straight, go slow. If it was tighter, I probably wouldn't do that, but it was just barely not fitting. And we're gonna figure out the ball position. So take whatever mount you're gonna be using and just play around with the positioning so you get the ball right. The farther out you have it, the more options you'll have, but just play around with it. I found what I like best, which is getting it close to the brake reservoir, but not so close that it's touching. So once the ball's in the right position, you want to hold it while you tighten that down snug. All right, and we're going to take the mount off for now. So make sure this is tight. Then you're just going to take this and thread it on the opposite of what you think it should thread. Once you get close, what you want to do is get this. The reason we're trying to get it as far up as possible is because we're adding height to this side. So there's a little bit of threading on this one, so it should be basically the right height if we get this bolt all the way to the top. But you have to do it in a way that allows you to get in the right position. So we're not going to be able to go any farther. Now we're going to get it in the right position. I'm just doing this visually with the other mirror. And then you're going to hold it while you turn the top bolt only. Make sure you're not touching that bottom one. And make sure this bottom one's snug too, right before you do this. hold that mirror while you push. Lefty loosey, but really we know it's tighty on the top. Just hold the mirror while you tighten it. That's all you do, and then there's a notch on this that lines up with a notch on the plastic, but we're not gonna have to worry about that anymore because this doesn't go flush. But all I do is just hide this behind the ball mount. Doesn't look quite as pretty as the flush, but once you get the mount on, it doesn't bother me nearly as much as I thought. And this is just a super stable way of mounting to the Xmax without having to worry about brackets and vibration and whatnot. So there you go. If anyone else has things they'd like to see or have me try out before they try it themselves, just let me know. I'd be happy to do it. And this is what it looks like when it's all put back together. This is the short ram arm. I got this. I had a medium arm, but I didn't want to block the tachometer if I didn't have to. So I went with the short, and really, really digging it.